Hello, welcome to Wanda's Cafe. Today we're back in our fashion corner. Most of you all know me doing political issues and things like that, but my other side of my brain, they say you use the other side of the brain. I work with fashion and models, and so this is a series of the continued series of the Fashion Corner where we're talking with models. We've talked with models, adult models, and now we're going to talk with some of the younger models and their careers in the modeling industry. And we may even get into some of the training that we do with the younger ones. Sometimes they talk about why should you take training classes and modeling classes, and I don't want to be a model. But the people that I find that most of us want to, if not be a model, look like a model, particularly young ladies. And sometimes you don't know where your daughter or son is going to go, whether nowadays whether she's going to be president of the United States. So it's good to get a jump start on how to the right sitting positions. We usually do what is right in our etiquette and our manners, but it is best to know why you do it. It is not what you necessarily do that makes you comfortable. It is usually why do I do what I do that makes you comfortable. Say, for instance, if you're an executive and you're introducing the head man, you live in California, and the head man, the executive, is coming from New York to meet with your supervisor and you, which one of those persons would you introduce first? If you were going to put that executive in the taxi cab to get him back to the airport, or the limo to get him back to the airport, where would you sit him? Would you sit him behind the driver, or would you sit him on the other side of the driver in the back? There's just so many different things that have to do with etiquette and modeling. It's the inner person sometimes. There's one person that takes precedence over the President of the United States. If you were introducing that person would be introduced before the President of the United States. So how would you know of all of these things? And usually most people, when they're successful in business and in life, they usually, if they didn't already have a lot of basic training in those areas, there are places that they tend to go to, corporate trainers and things of that nature. So, and I know most of us remember when we were young, at least in my age group, we tended to have not only the parents who taught us those basics, but coupled with the parents, the schools had elective subjects and elective ways for young people to learn most of those basics. Nowadays, the parents complain, and corporate world kind of complains that they don't get that in the schools anymore, and we need to put some of those electives back into the schools. Well, I think that's where most parents take their children when they want to make sure that their child has exposure to everything. I think that's when they take them to a modeling class or a etiquette class or a corporate training class, depending on their age. And I think if you start them when they're very young, I think that's the key. And so today I'm going to talk to some of our beginning and professional models that have started very young. And I'm going to let them tell us a little bit about themselves. First, we have Ashley Caratini.
Hi.
Hi, Ashley. And we have Mariah Wilkes.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, Mariah, would you tell me how old you are and what grade and anything you think that you'd like to have us know?
Well, I'm 11 years old. I go to Fleming Middle School. My favorite subject is English and history. I don't get straight A's, but I'm a good student. I'm very active. I'm a cheerleader. I like to model. I like to act, and I like to take pictures.
Okay, sounds like you are an active girl. I'm going to ask you a little bit more about that later. Ashley, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm 9 years old. I'm in 4th grade. I go to Grant Elementary on Sunset and Wilton, and I'm very active. I play soccer and sometimes a little bit of football with my friends. And I like math. I like to do division sometimes. And most of all, I like to hang around with my brother and my mom sometimes.
You said do the vision.
Yeah, like 9 divided by
Oh, the
73,000.
divisions. Okay. Math has changed since I was in high school, so I thought maybe there was something completely new from what I learned before. I heard you say something about, didn't I hear you say you like the modeling and acting too?
Yes.
And tell me some of your experiences in that.
Well, acting is my main priority, but the second is modeling. And the reason why I like modeling is because I like being, like, how can I say this? I like dressing up. I like to wear makeup a lot. I love doing my hair. And in acting, I just love being on the camera.
And remembering lines, do you?
Yeah.
You like to
I have a good memory.
Oh, that's the hard part for me. And I noticed you said you're active, you're a cheerleader, and the acting and modeling. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, when I say active, I mean like I have played softball, soccer. We play flag football at school. We play paddleball, volleyball, basketball, hockey.
And modeling. What made you get interested in modeling?
Because I like to take pictures and I wanted to walk down the runway and wear clothes, and I wanted to feel like what it feels like to be rushed in and out on the stage.
So you like the limelight, do you? Mm-hmm. And you're very tall already, so that's one of the prerequisites, I think. Where do you want to go in the modeling and acting?
Well, I want to be America's Next Top Model, and I want to be a good actress, and I want to get more roles.
Okay, and where do you want to go successfully? Is there any, do you want to have another career as well, or just is this is it for you?
Well, if I don't make it in modeling, I do want to have a career in acting. If in not acting, I would just have a regular basic lifestyle. But I would like to do modeling, and I would like to hang out with the younger and older models like Tyra Banks, and the younger models like sometimes Dakota Fanning models. I would like to hang out.
So you've mentioned models. What do you think about the role model? I mean, I noticed that you were mentioning other models who've set standards for you. How important is it that you see young ladies, particularly African American young ladies, in the industry? How important is that to you?
Well, I watch America's Next Top Model too, and the reason why I watch it is because so it could, when I'm young, well now when I'm younger and when I get older, so I have strategies and I know how to model. That's why I watch it.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about the role models? How important are they to you?
They're good so they can show me how to model and stuff, and like I watch America's Next Top Model too, so I can see how they take photos and walk down the runway and how they show each other how to work.
And both of you, I'm sure it's your parents have been a lot of support for you. How important is that to a young person who wants to model, that the parents are there for you?
Because if the parents aren't helping them, then they're not going to really make it. But if the parents keep standing behind them and giving them like roles and modeling and training, then they'll be probably successful.
And
how do you feel about the role that the parents would play?
Well, I feel that my parents are really supportive, so they're so supportive because they got me here maybe 15 minutes early, and they're so supportive. And I have a real strong background of Black African American women.
Ah, interesting.
So, yeah.
I met your mom too. There's another that African American woman strength. I think that is half of the battle there when we have the parents. You're talking about, you both mentioned moms, but In my dealings with the models for the last 30 years, I think it really is so important to me when dads are in there. I usually say, well, when dads are in there, they're going to do good because he's going to make sure it's done. Because mom will do it, but if dad is there, mom has to do it. And I think it's so important sometimes that dads take a little interest. A lot of men kind of think, well, that's just, but when it comes to their daughter, I don't think that anything is good enough for them. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything you want to tell me about modeling before we're going to be in a class here, and I just want to show people some of the basic things that models learn. You've already had these things, but I want you to pretend that you've never heard of any of these kinds of things that I'm going to teach you, so I can demonstrate to the audience what modeling classes can do. It has absolutely nothing to do with them, necessarily them thinking they're cute, but I think it gives them more confidence. Are you all ready to try some of those?
Yes.
Okay. First thing I teach them, and with the limited space, we can't walk the ramp, so I can't show you how to do that, but I can show you some of those things that you can do, that we can do just sitting here. And one of the most important things, I think, is how you hold your hands, how you hold your head, how you hold your feet, and this even in sitting positions, standing positions, and walking positions. So the first thing I want to do is teach you the hand positions. This is what I like to do, is have you put your hands like this. Now, there are 3 different ways that I like to show you. And the first one, I'm going to show you the one that if you're really nervous, you can use. You will be able to put your nerves right into your hands. Your hands are like this. Now open them and place them like that. And let them go down. Now, if you notice, can you tighten up real tight? You see how tight you can be, nobody ever noticed? You see that? See, you can be nervous as you want to be, and it goes into the hands. But you don't want to do that. But that's one good way to do that. You want them relaxed, but just in case. Now the other one is let's start like this, and just cross it like that. And that's usually the best one. Now, there are about 10 different positions. You happen to have an arm here today. Let's try the arm positions. Take your fingers and do them like this. Like just these 2 fingers. Put your thumb on top of these 2 fingers, right here. And let these 2 go out. Okay, so the other hand, all right? Now, you see how the arm is kind of bent there? The wrist, where the palm is out. And you need to bend your wrist a little bit more. Now, relax it. You see what you've done. This is the way you're going to keep your hands in a held, what they call a very feminine position. You want to place the arms right at the edge of here. And if you're going to do both, you shouldn't do both, but I would place the other one across the lap. But remember, those fingers are feminine. They always talk about the woman's thumb when she has the cookie is out there. So if she placed her position, now relax the fingers, take this off, and just hold your wrist up a little bit. See, keep going. Very good. Now, the first time someone does it, it seems awkward, but you keep practicing it, and it will eventually flow. Then if you need to change hands, of course, you do the other hand. But it should rest at this. Okay? Now we can go back to the hand position here. Now suppose we need to put our hands on our chins, and you want to rest. It is either this way, but remember that wrist. It's not like this. Very good. And if you're going to put your finger up, which I don't advise, but if you do, it's behind the ear. See this finger, first finger? There you go. It's behind that ear. And you see, it hasn't blocked your face. but this is actually the preferred one for me. The head should always be parallel, chin parallel to the floor. And your ears, it's like you take a string and it's like a puppet and you're hanging so it lifts you up. Okay. And you get tired, you go to one to the other. So if you're on like a stage or something, and many times, I don't know if you all have noticed, sometimes people even take photographs with their hands. I always call that sort of a power position. That's for a speaker, not necessarily models, because models, they want to see the natural face. Have either one of you had your headshots done and everything yet? And you know they like a natural look. I've seen them. But the power positions, I like that. Okay, now let's work on a little bit of the foot positions while we're here. Now, basically, women nowadays, I call this the power position, where the foot is even when you're standing. Women used to have, remember the tilt and all of that? They don't do that anymore because we're now going to be in the White House. Yeah, we're women, executive women nowadays. The power position, and I consider that the power position. Now, you may want to put it a little bit where the heel is just in the arch. You might want to try that one. There you go. That's good, but remember the knees. And with women, it's always as close to the body as you can get it. And the knees are close together, but the foot are flat on the floor. If you're going to cross your feet, okay, let's try those hand positions. If you're going to cross, it should be at the foot. Now both of those feet should be flat on the floor. Get it a little bit flatter.
Hard.
It's hard because you're still a little shorter. I'm taller. And and then also too, I have on heels. That's an advantage. But even with the flats, keep bringing your foot back until you can get them both flat on the floor. Sit up a little straighter, both of you. Maybe that will make a difference. Great. There you go. Absolutely. Now, the other thing is the other foot position, and this is the one. Women never cross their legs on here, but models can. And I'm going to show you how that one is. It's like this. Have you seen them do that? Now, this little part of it's hard. It's a hard one. So this one takes a lot of practice. And in class, we go around and around with that one. But this little toe touches the leg. So you've got to point that. You've seen them. You've got to point that foot. Now, bring that foot around. See your little toe is not touching your leg.
Oh, that's so...
Getting better. It's getting closer. Just you may have to scoot a little forward.
I'm so short.
That's why yeah. Keep going. You keep going. Keep going. Now point the toe a little bit more. There you go. Sit up. Just keep going. And you keep practicing it. You'll get it. It's hard. And it hurts the very first time. That's better. I have to do it on the right side. That's my left foot too. And I like what you just did. That you can do that, or you can do like she did. You can do that. But when you do, when you do it, it's like, and keep that first, take your foot and straighten it out, the one on the floor. There you go. Now that's the one models use. Okay, and you can get higher and higher depending on how long your legs are. And once you get it at home, you can start practicing it so that you can be comfortable with it. And it's one of the ones that you have to sit, because if you're on stage, you can't be fidgeting. So when you sit in any position, that's why you need to practice a lot, because your muscles must be in control of it. Because I want to show you something. We can go back to one of these positions. This is more comfortable for what I'm doing. I want you to watch me. The reason I say you can't fidget, and you're looking at a camera there, and watch me do this. You see how it stands out. But if you sit in your position, I want you to get that chin up, and I want you to control every muscle in your body, never to move, all the time. But you're talking, the head is moving, like that, but you are not moving. So let's try it. Tell me your name.
Hi, I'm Ashley Caratini and I'm 9 years old.
Hi, I'm Mariah Wilkes and I'm 11 years old.
Okay, after a while, very good, very good, very good. After a while, you keep practicing, keeping those muscles in control. It becomes natural for you, but don't fidget. Once you get a position, hold that position as long as you can. And when you move, it's like, see how long it took me to make that transition? It's not. Do you see the difference? So let's transition from there to putting our hands back on and do it in a count of, say, maybe 5. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the edge. Very good. But relax that finger there. There you go. Okay, that's great. Okay, now do you have any questions about anything that we were just working on, or other areas of the hands and the foot?
No.
No.
I would have you stand, if that's okay. We got a few minutes, and I'm gonna have you stand up, and we're gonna see what the standing is. So the other thing is, how do you get up? It is straight up. Okay, so slide just a wee bit and stand straight up using the muscles in your legs. Very good. Remember those hand positions I talked about? When you get nervous, this is a good one. But they're straight in front. But then you can also do the same one this way. And the models one, let's do this. Okay, very good. That's it. Oh, very good. Already tight into the waistline. Okay, now this hand here, I call this an imaginary line. It should always remain behind that imaginary line with that the pointed finger. Let me see. Or you could do the fist one. Ball your fist here. I want you to place this part, very good, you did it already, very good, right on there, and the hand goes back here. Then you can also go back to this one, and if you notice, the feet are always flat on the floor together. Now, if you can shift your weight to one side, but that's like, remember how they used to do that? You see them in the old movies. Yeah, exactly. They don't quite do that except when you're posing.
Yeah.
But if you're just standing on stage, you would not do that. So now to sit, it's the same way. You brush your dress back, and it's to sit. And you can either go back to your sitting position this way, or this way. We all have preferred ones. Whichever one it is that you prefer. I like the hand positions that you have there. I like the hand position you have, and I like the wrist position that you have there. Keep your feet a little closer together, but I like that. Whatever one works for you. This one seems to work for me too. I don't know if you noticed I had mine like that when I started. So now, if I had you in class, one of the other things I would be doing is we'd be going out to dinner. Every class I teach you the table manners and all of that in the classroom, but the last class is you go to dinner and actually are sitting there having class at the dinner table. And my mantra is, the world was my oyster, but I used the wrong fork. And so what I would do is have you learn which fork to use in a formal setting. You've got all your sitting positions, you're standing, and also voice and diction, which both of you have beautiful voice and diction. We'd make you have speeches and so forth so that you'd be comfortable talking, which I don't think either one of you have a problem with. And then we would have the dinner so that you could know exactly which fork to use, so you'd be comfortable in any setting, when to talk, how to talk, which foods you can eat with your fingers and which foods you could not eat with your fingers. So I think that like I said before, it's so important, I think, for them to start very young so that so it's so natural for you. But I thank you guys for coming today and being here. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all on stage soon for being in the modeling pageant in March to show us what you can do. Tell me, what do you like about modeling besides acting and modeling? You got 1 second. What is the most important thing to you about acting and modeling? We don't have time. I'm sorry. We'll see you next time on Wanda's Cafe. I didn't give you enough time. Thank you, ladies.